So, are you ready for restarting the second part of this morning session? Yes. So, Adriano, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So, if everybody agrees, so now is the turn of the coordinator of the coordinator of the project, Dr. Adriano Radi, who will summarize the main results and overall situation of the project. So, Adriano, it's your turn.
Okay, here we are. So good morning to everyone. Good morning to all our colleagues from this project. This is the last presentation of the day, the last day of the final event, and you know, I suppose that no one in February can expect such kind of a final event. I suppose that, or at least myself, I miss our dinner, no? When we close a thematic workshop or a study visit. And, you know, because really it's not only for the meal, but during our dinner, I remember wonderful dinner in Latvia, closing to a river, or in the beer garden in Slovenia, or in Batamush in Paris, or in Italy too. And when we are more relaxed, and so we are able to communicate with the different feelings, different emotions. And so, although we are talking about technical aspect, we do in different ways. And in my opinion, is very effective. I mean, now you know that they use different words in you say building management or networking and so on. But the reality, in my opinion, is that it's a very good moment, and unfortunately, we can do today. And this kind of difficult rallies was very unexpected. And I have to say thank you to the wonderful organization of, for me, a new experience as online events. I want to say thank you to my colleague in the Department of Agriculture. So, this long introduction in order to say what's that I think that, as you know, Bioenergy and partners from 8 countries, very different peoples, very different countries, situation, framework, underground expertise, skills, and so on, from north to south, from east to west. And well, I am really the results of the Erasmus generations. I don't know if you remember, no, for students several years ago, in the long past, when there is an initiative of the Europe in order to allow the students to know more than our frontier from the border. No, there is life for further in your countries, and was a wonderful opportunity to know Europe, and in my opinion, Inter-Europe, something like that. Of course, not for students. In this case, as you know, Inter-Europe is an policy instrument, so it's the opportunities for public administration to share experience, to go forward our borders, to put in a common tables, common problems, but different approaches, different experience. And so I think that this is a very important goal that we achieved, because we will be able, along the project, to enjoy this richness, this human capital. And in order to put order, to collect some memories, we have prepared a short video, 5 minutes. And I would like to ask to Gemma and Salvador now to put the video in order to record, to remember all the phases that we live along the project. Please. Okay, so I think that is a good brief resume for our activities. Really, I don't want to deep in technical consideration because my colleague from previous presentation have explained the results of the action plan. So I want to do some general consideration as a coordinator of the projects. As you know, the expected three pillars of the project was, first of all, increase the use of renewable energy in the overall energy mix. And I think that more or less in different degrees, but we achieved this goal. Really, I think that in 2020, in every country of the partnerships, the situation of bioenergy consumption is better than 4 years ago. Second pillar, really, thanks to these projects, we were able to introduce bioenergy and bioeconomy, because you know that bioenergy is the first step, so something in order to introduce in a more general framework as bioeconomy. So we were able to introduce these two concepts in all planning and decision makings. And thanks to the previous actions, really, we put a seed for future integrated strategy. You listened yesterday, the Remapriem from the Joint Secretariats explaining that probably we are waiting in the first semester of 2021 a new call from interregional Europe. And I think that these partnerships could be able to present a new proposal moving from bioenergy to bioeconomy approach. And that's thanks to a special experience that we have in North Korea and in Latvia. Well, these are only rough estimates about facts and figures, what bioeco represents. We would be able to organize the 80 policy learning events. What does it mean? Of course, thematic workshops, study visits, local stakeholder groups, inter-departmental meeting, and so on. You have just remembered that we identify 16 good practices. Some of that are included in the library of interregional Europe. Only a couple of them is not the best or not the most important. My only criteria was to catch the extremes of the map, you know, because Karelia is in the northern and eastern country, and Catalonia is the southern and western. More than these, I remember, for example, the bioenergy village good practices, so 1 megawatt for one village in that we learned in Romania, or as quoted before by our Italian colleagues, the agricultural and biomass system from the carrot industry of Areli. 190 peoples increased their professional capacity. And I repeat, that's, I think, that's a very indirect but important goal. Because more or less, I think that everyone that participated to our activities or get in touch with our projects really improve in different degree knowledge, skills, expertise. And that is something that we are not, so it's not easy to define, no? There is not really indicator, no? From 80 to 90 or what you want, but really this is the rough estimate that you communicated in order to people participating in the projects, and that expressed a favorable or positive impressions. Of course, is I am not to remind that we every partners, every country developed the action plans. And we were able to communicate through the media with appearances in rough 90 articles or digital media. And our webpage summarized around 4,000 sessions. And finally, regarding the budget, although we are working on it, as you know, we have to close all the financial aspects in a few days. But more or less, at the moment, we have the 90% of the budget expended. More than facts and figures, what else Bioeco brought us? And repeat this philosophy of these indirect benefits. I suppose that more or less everyone agree that Bioeco represents a great opportunity to learn and share experience with other partners, other countries. And so we are able to identify different solutions. And in different degree, every partner implement this solution for improving our policy instruments. We have increased the knowledge and technology adapted in socio-economic context related to bioenergy. And so we have gained international experience in the field of policies and methods for more effective use of biomass for energy purpose. All these stuff, all these things really allow that now, 4 years later, we are able and we were able to support our governments for the integration of bioenergy strategy. I mean, that's, I think, in my opinion, that is the core idea of the projects. And I'm glad, well, to recognize that we achieved this goal. So finally, that is my personal consideration. It is the Quadruple BIO4ECO helix. You know that quadruple is mean from academic, political, business, social point of view. Okay, no. I use only the phrase of quadruples. I mean, maybe better the quadruple pillars that I learned from the project regarding biomass. First of all, the importance of the technical innovation. Really, the use of fuel wood is from the midst of the times. There is not any innovation. The big difference, the real difference, is the technology that now we can apply to do. Of course, we are not talking about to put fuel wood in the fireplace, but to use modern technology that allow to reduce the emission from a combustion, because at the end is a combustion, And so our first concern is regarding to do this in an efficient way in order to use in the best way our raw materials and to reduce the emission, because you know that this is the aspect that we have to have more polite and more concerning and to get the best results. The second point, and in order to do that, we need a very high quality biomass. It's not the same to use any materials on agri-forest biomass certificated, but guarantee the results of good combustion and so low emissions that anyway we have to monitor it in order to guarantee that this process is correct. And with the previous pillar, the best available technology and the use of very good quality biomass, I think that we can gain the battle on the media in order to increase the social awareness. As you know, there is a lot of people that no idea or wrong idea or not correct or not scientific-based idea regarding biomass. So if you are able to communicate that we are really implementing new technology and our knowledge allow to do that. And finally, the fourth pillar that I consider very important from experience in the projects, the policies coordinations. You know that one of the stressed point of the project was the holistic approach. What does it mean? That, of course, I am a forester, but biomass is not only related to forestry approach. And during the project, we have seen that there is several administration with different competitions, so that energy or management, forest management, or CO2, or climatic change, or impact in terms of local employment. So there are very different approach, and one is not better or more relevant than the other. And so I learned to coordinate, to learn from these different approaches, and at the same time there is a wide offer of policy that in some way impact on biomass. And so these are very important things to be able to coordinate all these efforts, all this richness, all the different approach in order to get a synergy, a best result that divided the separate elements. Well, more or less, that's all from my side. Personally, I would to appreciate your cooperation. Really, for me, it was enough easy to coordinate because no problems in any moment. I enjoy your support and your help, and I hope that the same memory, the same beautiful experience that I enjoyed was the same for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Adriano, for summarizing the development of the project and the main outcomes, and also for the interesting video that you have shared with all of us. Okay, now I think that it's time for the roundtable. It's a general discussion in which I understand that you have more or less put into the table all the questions, on the remarks. You have shared a lot of experience, but sure that at this time you have also to ask, based on the today's presentation, some reflection or to raise some questions to the other participants. So now the turn is open for all of you, and then who wish to start with questions?
Well, in order to remember, because I understand that most of us are the technical in charge of the project, please remember that we have to celebrate the last steering committee. Our colleague from Bulgaria are in charge of that, and they suggest 24-29 of September. From Catalonia, we prefer, if possible, 29, because 24 is holiday day. And anyway, I suppose that you will be able to manage all the policy report, technical progress, financial, first level control, and so on. And yesterday, I had a brief talk with Prim, our officer in the Joint Secretariat, and she's happy, and really no problems with bioenergy. And so I suppose that we will be able to close in time the project, if there is no any special difficulties from your side, but at the moment no one commented anything.
Thank you for this advert. So any question? Well, in my case, I was interested in the presentation of Tina. It was a new concept for me, this climate smart forestry. So as far as I understood, it relates also with bioenergy, or you try to integrate behind this umbrella concept the maximization of all the ecosystem services. What is the general idea of this climate smart forestry?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the idea is that that we plan the use of forests smartly in a way that we don't jeopardize the biodiversity, and also take into account the multiple ways to use forests. So it's not only about bioenergy, but also other aspects of forest use. But through this, we can also ensure that we have wood-based resources to use in the future as well, because wood energy it's the majority of our renewable energy sources are from wood energy.
Okay, thank you. Well, so Adriano, maybe so I think that this project is also a continuation of another previous cooperation between several partners. So this project is just a result of increasing the densification of the network between partners. So, and then you also talk that.
No, as I explained before, this is, in my opinion, a first step. And I think that it should be interesting to explore more, no, horizon in the next goal. If finally, I suppose, yes, that there will be a next goal in the first semester of 2021. So, and of course, we have to go further, because you know that at the moment, really a lot of things are changing. Yesterday, as you can understand, Green Deal seems to represent a good opportunity. Nevertheless, really, bioeconomy is not reflected in the Green Deal, and forests are more closer to a protections approach, no, as the carbon sinks. But really, there is no way in this, because you know that there is a top. I mean, every country has recognized only to justify establishment amount of CO2 carbon sequestrations. So the big challenge and to reduce emissions, and there is no alternative to reduce emission that, of course, first, reduce consumptions, second, change technique of productions. And bioeconomy represents a wonderful opportunity to introduce this kind of change. And bioeconomy is not mean only bioenergy. As you know, it means that we are able to substitute fossil resources with natural renewable resources. First of all, but not only agri and foods and forests, of course. And so I think that these allow us to prepare or think about the opportunity to prepare second proposals, more than this. And I think that we have to put the special attention on all stuff that we can get with agri and forest raw materials. Okay, really there is a very wide choice and offer that technology allow to do at the present.
Okay, thank you. Any reaction? Any comments?
If it's possible, I'd like to comment a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. So, as Adriano said, yes, it's important to continue this idea of the project and to develop the idea and bioeconomy and to learn from each other. And I'd like to mention that this month, I think, a new call was launched under Green Deal, because reduction of the emissions it's the aim of the Green Deal, and maybe during the meeting in Sofia, not in Sofia, not physically, in online, okay, or over email, could be a nice idea to maybe to study a little bit about this call, and if you think that it's feasible to submit an application, I don't know, it could be an idea. Thank you.
Well, furthermore, because we're very, you know that, let's remember before, COVID changed dramatically scenarios, no? And really, at the moment, we can focus, for example, you can hear yesterday, because all the global scenarios is not so good as in the past, because our dependency from outside is too strong. So for any reason, COVID, we disrupt these chains, we have problems. So at the moment, there is a special focus to strengthen the local availability of resources, energy, and so on. And that, I think, in my opinion, is a card that we can play on the table. On the otherwise, of course, is considered strategically sector. Only thinks about the production of the masks or tissue papers, on what you want. A lot of products forest-based. No? So, in my opinion, it's possible to propose a different approach. Not only forest as a garden, as a wonderful paradise that we have not touched. Of course, as a foresters, our first concern is about to guarantee providing good and service, respecting the forest and environments. No? In my opinion, so really there is a scenario that we have to be able to enjoy and to explain and come again once to the importance of the social awareness. Because I suppose that is a problem that more or less we share in every political administration, no? Because policy has to respond to social awareness, social sensitivities. So if there is a part of the societies that claim that's not good, we have to be able to gain part of this public in order to explain that, please, we propose a real and effective and viable alternatives. What is on the other side? Because, of course, humankind needs materials, needs energy, needs food. We can guarantee a sustainable supply. On the other side, what we have? No, the oil, the fuel experience of the last 150 to 2 centuries, and we are paying the bill at the moment, or what else? No? So I think that that is maybe also a result of bioeconomy. No? This consensus, this idea, no? This mind framework that we are able to explain, to defend in our country, in our administration, in our department.
Okay, thank you. Any more comments?
Yeah, a brief comment regarding the Green Deal. We are exchanging at the moment with our Ministry for Agriculture and Alimentation regarding this particular policy and the ways, the levers we have to promote a real forest strategy. And we're observing the same problem between our national policies regarding forest and European policies regarding forest. They are divided between different Directorate General. So the Directorate General responsible for the Green Deal is the Environment DG. And this DG don't really have competencies regarding forest development, regarding forest exploitation. It's a Directorate General really focused on the biodiversity aspect of the forest. So we can't really expect a full forest strategy from this directorate. I don't think it will happen. We can only hope that the financing tools will allow us nationwide and region-wide to promote the multifunctionality of the forest management, and not only to finance biodiversity in specific area like sanctuary and stuff.
Well, I agree, because unfortunately, forestry strategy is the last one. No? I mean, in the main priority. And so, as in the past, our skill is to enjoy other windows, moved, pushed, proposed from other needs or sectors or departments in order to propose a forestry approach. I would like that would be coordinated in a forestry strategy, but I know, as you very remember, that it's very difficult and improbable. No? So I think that the only way is use other opportunities created from other needs, other departments, to propose a forest or agroforest solution.
Okay, thank you, Adriano. Any more comment?
Yeah, I would like to ask my partners about their specific, if there is their recovery plans. I know there is a European recovery plans, and I guess there is also for each country some recovery plans regarding the post-COVID-19 situations. And in France, our Ministry for Agriculture and Alimentation dedicated 200 millions of euros for the forest sectors. And it will help, among others, the reconstitutions of forests that have been attacked by sanitary disease. So it's the first step toward a really global financing tool to help the forest development. And I'm curious about the specific recovery plans in your countries, and if it include forest and wood sector.
Yeah, reactions?
So maybe I can, from Latvia, I can just can comment that, of course, we are aware of this recovery funds, which is provided by the European Commission, but as well we know that those plans must be ready at the beginning of the next year. So now it's more or less the ministries just to communicate with the stakeholders, and we have some ideas, and we submit all the ideas to the Ministry of Finance, and they will evaluate this these plans as well. We are invited of experts, international experts, to help us to see the global impact of what might be if we have this money, because we see for us we can say the COVID. If we move towards the low carbon economy till 2050, then we believe the COVID-19 it's short-term problem for Europe. It seems it seems a big crisis, but still it's short time, and we have to just see and see the bigger picture over the COVID-19. And that's why, of course, there's going to be some some ideas and some projects which is going to be implemented in agriculture and in forestry to develop the bioeconomy, as well to invest in environmental eco schemes to strengthen this. So it's very broad, but I can't say that at the moment we have already adopted a plan on a paper, but we are working on that. Yes. Thank you.
Anything from the other countries? Do you have information about?
If it's possible, I've just asked my colleague about the recovery plan that we are now drafting. It's a document in progress. It's a work in progress, and until now, there are some measures linked to forests and forestation, and an unofficial amount, which I've just heard, it's like 500 million euro for forestry, but it's a work in progress, as I said, and maybe will be changes in April next year, when the plan will be into force.
Thank you, Gabriela. Salva?
Well, here in Catalonia, if you remember yesterday, our ministry, she spoke, she gave the opening of the conference, and during her intervention, she said that in Catalonia we are working on a plan, on a recovering plan, and we try, or we intend to include the forestry sector because we want to, and the things that we want is to increase the forest management, and also this will allow to create working places, is that she said. So we still do not have this plan, but we are working on it. At least the idea is that including the bioeconomy. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Josep Salvador.
For Abruzzo region, now we are prepared a project which could be financed with the resources of the recovery fund. And about the presentation of Mr. Radi, I think it's very useful for us, the presentation about the slide about the quadruple BIO4ECO helix, which put together four elements: technological innovation, biomass certification and emission monitoring, social awareness, and the policies coordination. These elements are relevant for us for the implementation of the bioeco project, especially with the resources of the next period programming. And for us, it's necessary to put together the different resources of the many programs, especially for the next period. And it's necessary for us to realize synergies between different departments, regional departments, and we have to carry out communication and involvement of the stakeholders with the resources of the next period, especially.
Hello.
Thank you. Daniela?
Yes, thank you very much. In Bulgaria, we don't know yet our recovery plan in the forest area. I think the government is more focused over social measures and over fighting labor, and of course providing food. So as a part of Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Forestry, I think our colleagues in the agriculture section or directorates are more busy with recovering plans. We don't have information still where here about recovery plan and funding for forests specifically. But I also want to add something, if you allow me. Yesterday at the discussion, Mr. Trasubares had a question towards Mr. Kostov. Unfortunately, Mr. Kostov left the meeting because he had to run for another meeting. So on his behalf, I can provide his answer now. The question was possible policy combination of forest bioenergy and the use of local timber in bioconstruction for achieving the goal of higher added value chains and efficiency in Bulgaria. So what Mr. Kostov sent me as an answer, and I need to present it now, is according his opinion, there is no legal barriers for this, but unfortunately lack of economic incentive. Timber usage for building and construction is unsubsidized, hence cannot compete with traditional methods. This is due to the absence of enough available timber for certain purpose. Wood processing industrial enterprises in Bulgaria, either mechanical or chemical, meeting their needs, energy needs, by using wood waste and scrap obtained from their production process. As examples, I can provide Sfiloza, that having 1.4 megawatt power boiler, and Gora Invest 1.2 megawatt. So as a conclusion, must say it's not cost efficient and wouldn't be competitive compared with other enterprises. So thank you for attention. I had to say that because I promised yesterday. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you, Daniela.
I can
Ina?
say about the recovery plan. Yeah, we have prepared a recovery plan in North Karelia, but it's a more general paper, so there are no specific actions for forestry or agricultural sector. And actually, I don't know about the national recovery plan, if it has any specific funds for this sector either.
Anna from Slovenia.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we also have the national plan for the forestry sector is not even, I think, in the rounded table of the government yet, because they are dealing with, health issues and taking measures for the social distancing and how to work from home and stuff like that, because that wasn't something that was used in our country. So and as I said, we're such a forestry country, the forestry sector almost always comes not the last, but it's maybe take for granted, because forest is there, it's highly productive, nothing can happen. So for the last 5 years we've been dealing with recovery measures, dealing with like wind throws and the Ips typographus diseases. We have this kind of recovery plans, but due to COVID, we don't have any, we were offering the counseling and the big rounded tables, the stakeholder meetings, but everything now is on hold. And as most of these people are from rural areas, they're also maybe like older in the bigger, like most of them, they don't have any like Zoom options, or they don't even have, some of them, computers at home, so we can't expect them to participate in this kind of meetings, so everything is still really unsure.
Thank you, Anna. I think that, Silver, you have here a whole vision of the situation in all the country partners. Okay.
Well, only last consideration, because regarding recovery plans, I think that not, of course, it's all thanks to Bio4ECO, but according to the result and experience that we got from the project, I remember one of the first expected outcomes, lay the groundwork for future integrated strategy and program by economy and so on. Really, in the recovery program of our regional government, the first point is economy of life, and is clearly quoted the reference to bioeconomy. So, some degree in Catalonia, we were able to translate, to push, to lobby in the local government in order to explain the importance of bioeconomy. It's not only related to the actual panorama, I mean, COVID disease and pandemia. No. It's the same. In 5 years, 50 years, or 20 years. Because, as you know, there is more or less all over Europe in 2050. The goal is to be carbon neutral. And the moment here we have, and I suppose that more or less in with the exception of North Korea and maybe Latvia, but at the moment most of our energy resources came from nuclear power and oil. So there is a big challenge in these directions. And of course, it's easy to understand that there is a resistance, there is a lobby against, there is other policy interests and so on. But as far as the sense of the projects, this message is present on the decision maker tables, and I think that is a good result. Of course, anyone thinks to pretend to have the all-inclusive visions and final decisions. But we are trying to play our cards. And at the moment, thanks to experience that we gained from the project, from our colleagues from North Korea, we are promoting the adoption of the new bioeconomy strategy here in Catalonia. That is supposed to be adopted in next year, in 2021.
Thank you, Adriano. Any more comments? Question? I think that you are tired after the today meeting. So if anyone who is in the public, but even if it's not a project partner, wish to raise a question to any of the participants or just open questions, so now it's time. You can use the question and answer chat. So Anna?
No, I just wanted to add one thing, that as now the next year, the new call for Interreg Europe, as Verena said yesterday, will be launching. We will be happy to participate in any new project. We will probably also look for something, maybe to start it as a lead partner or something, but we will be also really glad if we'll be taking in consideration if anyone will be launching any new bioeconomy project. So hope to see you again.
Well, as a final remark, because if you go to the cemetery, you never find someone putting on the stone, there is a big son of bastard. No, everyone is a wonderful person, a wonderful husband, a wonderful what you want. So, I mean, of course, we can say great experience, wonderful partner, and so on. But really, according to your experience, if you compare with other projects, because I suppose that more or less the most of you are implicated in other projects, And in different experience, I found big problems. No? And that's true. And in this partnership, really, for me, was a very comfortable experience. And I personally would express my gratitude and say thank you to your participation and your cooperation and the effort that everyone put in the results of the project.
Okay. So if you have no more questions or topics or doubts to add, I think that if you agree, we will close this roundtable, this general discussion. And then, so we will conclude this meeting with the closing words. So Adriano, you can say something as a project coordinator, as a organizer of this meeting.
I have just done the last statement, so
Please.
I'll to repeat.
Okay, so if not, then we will conclude. We will close this today's.
May
Yeah.
I? So
Yeah, please, Christine.
If it's on agenda, the closing words, then it's always hard to say the closing words, and even if we have the end of the project. So that's why I wrote I wrote those sentences. So thank you all for your for hosted project thematic workshops. Thank you for your hospitality you showed during our visit to your countries. We appreciate for your knowledge and experience which you provide during the project. It is a little bit sad that project ends, but something remains. We have new knowledge, skills, experience, and we have good memories, good friends around Europe, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. So good luck to you all, and hope to see you somewhere virtually or in a person in the future. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. And stay safe and healthy.
Thank you very much for these kind words, Christine.
May I say something?
Yeah,
Hello?
Daniela, please.
Christine, we'll see each other virtually in a week, I suppose. So please write another speech for closing words next week, 29th or 24th. Please send me an email, because we'll be not in Zoom, in another platform, but I will send you details shortly. Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you all.
Who will be the next? Salva?
Well, I completely agree with Christine. This project has been a very good experience, and we have learned a lot. And also, we are very happy with the different visits to the different countries that we have done. And we think that the networking that we have created, it will be some way or another, it has to continue, because it's very nice to work with you. So thank you. And also want to say from the organization, I want to thank all the panelists of the different days, and maybe apologize for the lots of mails that we have sent you this week. But we think that it has worked very nice, this meeting. It's virtual, but we are happy with the results. So thank you to all of you also, and hope to, well, some of you we will see next week, but others we hope to cooperate in a way, in another one.
Thank you. Salva?
I just wanted to say that the only thing that it's really missing is the lunch together, you know. We used to eat a lot together, so this is one point that it's missing, but okay, we'll get it on the next time. We'll eat some more and drink some wine together, hopefully, so yeah.
Okay, thank you. So if there are not any more interventions, so Adriano, will you close? No? So in this case, I would say thank you to all of you.
We can declare officially close the final event of Bio4ECO, because I understand no one was the first to close the connection. Okay. Have a nice day and see you in a few days.
Okay, thank you to everybody. See you other time.
Thank you.